What's good with it, BlakGooseTV family? Salute, 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 salute. Fluma's in the goddamn building. I got some boxing news that I want to talk about. Obviously, this past weekend we had some fights happen, right? And they were significant when it comes to the 168 and the 175 division, right? In this particular fight, we're particularly and specifically talking about the 175 division. And this obviously has to do with Joshua Buatsi because obviously Joshua Buatsi fought this past weekend. And he fought against a very, 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 very tough opponent in Craig Richards. If you guys aren't aware of Craig Richards actually took Bivol to a split decision victory back a couple years ago when no one expected Craig Richards to have any chance against Bivol. So that shows you kind of how good Craig Richards is. You know, me personally, I'm very upset that I wasn't able to see the fight, but I had things going on, so I couldn't watch it in real time. I couldn't do the Fluence Lounge. But real quick disclaimer. Me and Zen, we did do a Fluence Lounge this past weekend for the David Benavidez, David Lemieux fight. It did get blocked. It did get taken down because apparently we were showing some copywritten footage. Don't worry, you guys can check that out. Probably tomorrow I'm going to be re-uploading that, so I'm gonna edit that. I'm gonna cut out the footage where we're not supposed to have it on, and I'm gonna re-upload it so you guys can check out that live of us, obviously watching that fight. We also, talked about Floyd Mayweather versus Don Moore, and we did talk about Buatsi versus Craig Richards, but obviously that's the one that we had to cut out. But now, with that being said and all out of the way, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. Show some love to your boy, show some love to the BlakGooseTV family. But I want to ask you guys a specific question when it comes to Buatsi because, I ended up watching the Buatsi Richards fight. I didn't watch it in its entirety. I watched the highlights, so I still kind of want to, get a chance to actually watch it in its entirety. But from what I saw, it didn't surprise me. Buatsi, the type of stylistic fighter he is, he has some trouble with Richards because, personally, Buatsi, he doesn't have any, necessarily just crazy knockout power. He's not like a big, strong guy at 175. Athletically, he's there, but he's not over the top athletically. He's just a very solid, fundamental fighter. But even within that, I think the flaw that I've always saw in Buatsi, and this is why I've always actually been more of a fan of Yarde, is because as great as offensively Buatsi is, defensively, he has some things he needs to work on. And I've always seen Buatsi be, if he doesn't have the reach advantage, if he doesn't have the athletic advantage, he tends to struggle because his defense is subpar, in my opinion. And subpar, that's not me being disrespectful. Subpar, I'm saying for the level that he's at, it's subpar. So I'm not saying subpar as if, his defense is nowhere near like an amateur level fighter, or my defense is better. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying for the level he's at, it's subpar for the talent that he's going to be facing. So with that being said, it didn't surprise me that Craig Richards gave him everything he had. It ended up being a split decision. Some may even argue Richards may have won. But that's always what I've kind of seen the problem with Buatsi when I watched him fight is, even though he's absolutely amazing when it comes to the fundamental side of the game and he's very disciplined when it comes to his game plan, when you get into the upper echelons when it comes to this boxing shit, you have guys who they don't necessarily have to stick to their game plan because they're so athletically gifted. They can create something on their own, or they can lean towards something that is very that works in their favor that may not be based around skill. Arda Beterbiev, he's a fucking tank, right? So he doesn't always have to fight the right way, right? He can just kind of bully you because he has that in his arsenal. Anthony Yarde is a defensive wizard. You guys can say whatever you want, but Anthony Yarde's defense at the 175 division is fucking phenomenal, and that's why I'm always in Yarde's corner, because at the end of the day, it's going to be very hard to hit Yarde. You know what I'm saying? Bivol, his understanding of reach and being able to get in and get out and never, take any chances is absolutely amazing, along with his defensive capabilities. Buatsi is the one guy where when I look at that, 175 division and, that little, where I'm kind of seeing light heavyweight kind of turn into what, the heavyweight division was, a couple years ago with Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, etc. Usyk, all that good stuff, but Dylan White, all that. But I'm kind of seeing it turn that. But Buatsi is the one guy where I look at it and I'm like, well, he's the one guy out of all those guys where he gets hit a lot. And somebody say, well, what about Yarde? Yarde got hit by Kovalev. Yarde got hit, by Arthur. Me personally, that's a whole nother video that I could touch on, but I still think Yarde has just much better defense than Buatsi. I think the offensive side of the game from Buatsi is better than Yarde. But I think Yarde's starting to trust his offense the same way he's been trusting his defense. So, but we'll see. But anyways, that's my opinion. That's my quick recap. I thought it was a great fight. I'm saying, for me watching the highlights, I still want to watch the full fight, but I thought it was a great fight. I enjoyed it, immensely. Buatsi showed that he definitely belongs to be in the upper echelons of the 175 division. But my question to you guys, BlakGooseTV family, is what do you guys think, when it comes to this particular fight? Do you think Buatsi is and does belong to be named with these upper echelon light heavyweights? Do you think that's where he belongs? Or do you think, you know what I'm saying, maybe he's someone that might be overhyped, maybe because his name was tied with Anthony Joshua and still is? That's what, got him moving along, especially with him, being over in the UK, et cetera, et cetera. Or maybe am I just being kind of a little bit disrespectful? So I want to know from you guys personally, Black Goose TV family, I want you guys to answer this for me. Do you feel that the performance that you guys saw from Buatsi fighting Craig Richards, was it enough for you guys to be convinced that, hey, we need to start talking about he does need to fight Bivol next? Because he called out Bivol. He said, I want Bivol next. Actually, let me go ahead and let me show you guys some proof on that, right? Because I think it's actually going to show his post-fight quote in this particular. Here we go. So this is actually from Richards himself. First and foremost, he said, I thought I had done enough. I finished strong, but credit to Josh. He's a hell of a fighter. By the way, all three judges went for Buatsi, 116, 112, and then 115, 113. And then Buatsi responded and he said, he gave me 12 hard rounds, maximum respect to him. We want the world title next. We have made it very, very clear. Hearn suggested Bivol, but that would depend on whether Alvarez wants to rematch. But real quick, let me reverse it. But the situation with the world title was no further forward. What better Biv do to face Joe Smith Jr. And Anthony Yarde on deck for the winner? Hearn suggested Bivol, but that would depend on whether Alvarez wants to rematch. So remember, you guys, I've told you guys, Yarde is supposed to be the front runner for the Better Biv Smith Jr. fight. If Better Biv beats him, it's most likely going to be Yarde versus Better Biv. Buatsi is now calling out Dmitry Bivol. So the way it seems to me and the way kind of everything is working, I see Canelo actually moving his way and going ahead and going with the Triple G trilogy. And then I see Bivol fighting Joshua Buatsi. That's how I see things unfolding. That's me personally, but let me know what you guys think, Black Goose TV family. I love you. I appreciate you. Drop in the comments how you feeling. Salute to the people. Salute to everybody up out there. Much love. I'm out of here for now, but as I'm unfortunate.